What's going on, everyone? Man, I just had a very, I want to say an interesting experience, but I don't know. I wouldn't want to say interesting experience, but not that I feel great about it entirely. I'm just really pissed off right now. I'm cooling off. I am. I'm cooling off. Today I had my first experience of being, I don't know how to put it. My first experience of coercion and extortion by the court. Yep, my first experience. My first experience. Coercion and extortion by the court. It's not an actual lawful court, though. But let me just say this, and I'm going to try to keep this live very short because I got to go places. I got other projects in front of me. I have a couple of court cases. One of them is the traffic citation. I had a hearing last month, right? So I was basically targeting the citation as far as the defects in the citation and the complaint, the so-called affidavit from the Gestapo. I was targeting a lot of that. I've sent a lot of documents. I backed it up with statutes. I put a lot of key information there. So the judge, this so-called judge, he's a part-time judge, by the way, and he's a lawyer. Man, I'm gonna have some fun with this bastard real soon. But this is just getting started. When this judge looked at my documents that I filed during the hearing last month, and when he denied my motion, like within a blink of an eye, I see right there and there. The city prosecutor was there. I see how his body language, what he agreed with the city prosecutor is. I could see that the trial is lopsided. When I say that no matter what, he wanted me to address each document that I filed. But after I went up to the podium and addressed each document, he just denied it. So it's like, to me, looking at the way this was going, it don't look like it didn't make any sense. And again, the case was getting lopsided. So when I expressed myself that I am not getting a fair trial, this piece of shit threatened me and told me if I say that again, he will lock me up and I'll pay the fine. I gave him a look, a stare down. I looked at him, and I looked at him in such a way that I literally put a hole right through his body. He has no idea who he's fucking with. None. Obviously, he probably dealt with a lot of people. Of course, a lot of people that he pissed off. But he haven't dealt with someone like me. He hasn't. I'm very resourceful. I don't know everything, but I'm very resourceful. And I'm very good in getting lots of knowledge. Rest assured, that court is going to be fucking shut down. I'm going to shut it down. I will. Anyway, let me get on with today. What happened today? So yesterday was the last day for me to pay the fine, right? Last month I filed my appeal. All right, I filed my appeal twice. I play all their BS rules, even though this is not a lawful system. The court system have rules and regulation. So I go along with it as a strategy. So I go by the rules, right? Did everything right. Did my research. But not every de facto court is going to follow their own rules now. This court is a great example. This part-time judge, part-time and a lawyer at the same time. He denied my appeal twice. He blocked my right to appeal. And they want me to pay the fine. Right? I challenged the fine because there was defects with the Gestapo's affidavit. I was targeting a lot of things about it. It's a little technical, but I'm not going to say it in this live. But and I was defending my rights and liberty too. So anyway, when I found my documents yesterday, because yesterday was the 3rd, and they told me I have until November 3rd to pay the fine. So I had to make sure I had to cover all grounds. That way they don't, hey everybody, I'm sorry, I get so, I'm sorry, I'm like so into what I want to say. I just, I forgot you guys just came in. Thanks for coming, thanks for stopping in, everyone. So, so November 3rd was yesterday. So I filed my documents, everything. I cover all areas to prevent any warrants, right? I did more research, okay? So they wasn't budging. They're blocking me from appeal, and they want me to pay the fine. So to fast forward, this morning, I got a text message that to pay the fine, it's like a text, it's like a voice message text, whatever. To pay the fine, or they'll send a warrant for my arrest. And I'm like, look at this. Coercion and extortion. You're pressuring me to get money out of me. We're not talking about the Gestapo. They do this shit every fucking day. But we're talking about the court now, the so-called court. When the cops give you a fine and all that stuff, and they do this without a search you, without a warrant, all that stuff, and they want you to pay the fine right there. They got their own little thing. But the court, this BS court, threatened me with a warrant. Right, let me just say this now, a little bit about me, about me. In this system, I don't have no police record. Okay? I'm not a thief. I'm not a crackhead, or whatever. I know nobody doesn't know or don't even know me personally. You see my videos or whatever, and you just don't get maybe you don't have a firm grasp about what kind of person I am. But I'm just gonna say this: I'm not a criminal. I don't have a police record. Okay? I educate myself in the law, and I believe in only one law. That is the supreme law. That is the common law. Now, what happened today? I have a lot of projects going on. I said this in my other live recently, and I'm going to put this court on the top of my list now. They're on the top of my list. You see, getting rid of a de facto judge, they'll replace one piece of shit to another piece of shit. Sorry, I'm going to be a little vulgar in this live, all right? Because I got to be completely real. And I don't know if YouTube's going to censor it. Whatever. If it does, it does. I don't give a damn. But I'm being very honestly real here. Okay? They'll replace one judge after another judge. I know maybe some of you probably aware of that the judge got this, they got this super immunity, judicial immunity. They're untouchable. No. You see, my knowledge about this system, you see, I've done research on that court. That court was open in the 1980s, folks. I know that everything that was created, especially from the post-Reconstruction, after 1867, folks, and the creation of the system by the 14th Amendment. Okay? Okay? Hey, everyone. Thanks for joining. I know that the system is not the lawful system prior to the Reconstruction, let's just say prior to 1860. All right? All the courts in the state level, for example, are de facto. All of them. The municipal courts are like, when it talks about corruption, they are the lowest of the, like the lowest of the lowest. Well, they're like bottom feeders. I'm not saying that the county and district courts and state supreme courts lawful. They're not. They're de facto. They're not operating de jure, meaning through common law, meaning they're not grounded or operating under common law. Okay? It's all statutory. All of it. Okay? They operate under color of law, under the guise of state authority. But let me just get to the court situation. So this court, okay, was open in the 1980s. That office where that judge sits, that so-called judge sits, it's been unlawfully created. What does that mean? That means he's a usurper. A usurper means is an intruder. I describe these people in office de facto or usurpers. Okay? De facto and usurper is pretty much the same. Some people will get a little technical about it, but just to make it simple for this video, the judge, all judge are de facto or usurpers. Okay? If the office was open, any office, judicial, let's say executive branch, any office, okay, folks? If the office was open before pre-Reconstruction, let's say before 1860, that office was lawfully created. But the thing is that under this system, it's occupied by de facto officers, usurpers. So what I'm saying about this court, folks, this court and entirely is not lawful. It's not lawful. Period. It doesn't matter if the judge turns around and dismisses the citation. It doesn't matter. The thing is, the court is unlawful. So, I know some people will say, well, what's the point? What's the point doing anything? If they're not lawful and they're going to do whatever they want, I'm like, yeah, I could say that. I could sit there and bury my head under the sand and don't do shit and yet complain. I could do that. But why? I'm not like that. I don't sit there and bury my head under the sand. I'm the kind of person that if I don't like something, I'm going to do something about it. And if I don't have the answers at the very moment, I'm sure I'm going to get the answers. The thing is with these people, they underestimated me. I don't care which department, what entity I'm dealing with in this insurgent government. I'm very resourceful. Okay? Again, if I don't have all the answers, I will get it. But rest assured, that court, I'm going to shut that shit down. So I'm not going to really focus on trying to get rid of this judge. No. I'm going to target the office that's been unlawfully created. And because I don't want to say the process yet, folks. Okay, I get it. Yeah, I don't want to say the process of how I'm going to do it. Okay, and I hope you understand. What I want to do is that I want to target this municipal court, shut the shit down, post an article, a video about it, and then I'll tell people how I did it. But right now, with this particular process, and I'm sorry, I don't want to say right now. Okay, I don't. But rest assured, I am determined to get it done. Anybody that knows me in person will say, hey, if Gabe, if he's like hungry or if he's like dedicated, he ain't gonna stop. So what happened to me early, I was pissed. I was going through a lot of feelings, man. You know, I'm not used to this stuff in a way because I don't, as much as I hate the system, I don't have a police record, like I said. And it's not like I have a problem with the Gestapo, even though I don't care for them. But I don't have these problems, you know what I mean? I educate people, I know what things are, I have projects ahead of me. I'm going to challenge the existence of different entities in the system and several, you know. But far as the Gestapo, I don't have a whole lot of experience with that. But the whole thing with the warrant, yeah, I was going through a lot of feelings. A lot of feelings. I'm going to be real with you because I know some of you are listening. You probably maybe relate. Maybe you've gone through some of the things I've been through. I don't know. But I have a lot of things in my head. And I'm going to tell you straight up. And I'm not going to say everything. But I have a family to take care of. Okay? I have a family to take care of. And it's like, you know, you know, oh man. The thoughts was running through my head. And I was trying to keep myself, you know, optimistic, not giving in to certain thoughts and feelings. But the thoughts was running through my head is that these thugs in uniform coming, breaking through the door, and I thought about ways of defending myself and my family, and I will defend myself, even taking some of them out. I will do it. I will fucking do it. I thought all kinds of things going through my head. I have a family to take care of. And I say to myself, you know what? I don't like what's going on right now. I said, you know what? I was doing some research. I said, you know what? Me going along with the coercion and extortion could definitely work in my favor. It took me a while to get to this point. I'm going to tell you, folks, it was very hard because I have a lot of anger. I have a lot of anger. I know a lot of people out there, millions of people, have a lot of frustration dealing with the court. I get it. Trust me. It took me a little bit to get to this point right now. I said to myself, maybe this could work in my favor by going along, paying a fine, and then stack these things up against the court, far as shutting it down. So I did. I put a money order. I put paying under protest. I put not volunteer. I filed a document with that, attached to the money order. I scanned the money order for evidence. I'm going to file my writ of mandamus. It's a common law procedure. Okay, it's to have the higher court force the lower court to do its duties. The lower court failed in different ways of its basic duties. Even though it's an unlawful court, doesn't matter. If it has a duty and it has rules that it puts out there, they got to follow their own fucking rules now. So I'm going to use that against them. I am. I cannot tell you how determined I am that I'm going to shut this municipal court down. I want to focus on because I know the root of the corruption in these systems locally. I want to clean out locally. I'm gonna do the best I can on my end. If people want to join what I do, and after they hear about the process I do, and they want to know, hey Gabe, how do you? Wow, I want to learn how to do that. Like, yeah, the court around my way is really bad, corrupt. Then I'm gonna share knowledge about it. Put a website. I am sorry, it's taking me a long time, but I am working on a website. But far as my end, I'm gonna do my best. And I live in Texas, by the way. Okay, probably one of you wondering what state I live, but I'm going to clean out locally and even statewide. I am. The state house, where that insurgent governor is, I'm going to leave him last. He's on my fucking list too. Doesn't matter about what party. I don't go by political parties, folks. I go by whether this person is a Republican form of government or not. And because none of the state governors in the system are Republican form, I'm going to do what I can to close that office down. Now, the Texas office, the governor's office, it is lawfully created. It's just that you have an intruder occupying that office. But yeah, the state house, they're on my list. But right now, I'm going to shut down. I'm going to start with one municipal court. I'm going to work my way around. I am. And I was encouraged to share these things because, you know, my friend was telling me, you know, you should talk about this. And I said to myself, I said, I don't know why should I don't want to express this. I said, you know, I'm not, you know, you know, the people that listen online, it's like a mixed bag. You got people that could connect what I'm saying, and you have some people that don't understand, and they have a slave mind. You know, I'm not really looking for like emotional support. I'm not. I'm just expressing to you as a real person that I am in a war. Even though this particular battle went tanked, but that's all right. I have to say this to myself right now because I want to turn this shit around. I'm going to turn it around, and I'm going to use that against them. I am. They made it. They really made it on my top list. They really did. They really did. Yeah, this is not a pretty area. I know. It's freight trains. Anyway, I just wanted to express this, even though I was encouraged to talk about it, even though I didn't want to talk about it. You know, I was just telling my friend that, you know, I don't need people telling me about, you know, as far as, you know, you have some people have a self-defeated attitude, whatever, like kind of like bury your head under the sand, like nothing we can do. I don't think like that. I don't operate like that. It doesn't matter how frustrated I express myself. I could be expressing myself through frustration, but that don't take it that I'm giving up. No way. I'm frustrated. Like anybody else could be frustrated. The thing with me is that I am determined and I'm relentless. And when I have a goal in mind, I'm going to achieve it. That judge and these idiots in the clerk's office have no idea who they fuck with. But everything happens for a reason. I gotta say this to myself. Everything happens for a reason. And the very thing that I was going through, all kinds of thoughts in my head from last night, worrying about how to defend my family, yes, that's what I was going through. What should I do? I have ways to defend myself. I'm not going to talk about that in detail, but I will defend me and my family. But this is a thought that was going through my head last night. I'm not used to that. I don't have that experience about warrants. You know, I heard people that gone to jail and for some stupid shit. That I don't involve myself with people that do, you know what I mean, mischief. Dumb shit. I don't involve myself with kind of people like that. I involve myself with people that's intellectual. Someone with guts like me. Those are the kind of people I involve myself with. But this whole warrant thing and arrest, I'm not used to that stuff. So yeah, I didn't take it very well. I didn't take it well. I appreciate it. Thank you for saying that I'm not alone. I really appreciate it. I had to get in the habit of looking down in the screen as I'm talking. But yeah, thanks. Yeah, Texas Steakhouse. Yeah. At the end of the day, we are all asleep. Well, not everybody's asleep. Yeah, I'm gonna do whatever I can to make sure that don't happen. As far as me go to jail, I try not to focus on that. I will defend myself. I was talking to my creator. I'm not a religious person. I'm not. The creator, you could call it whatever you want to call it. But I do believe in higher powers. So if you do believe in a creator, I think you will agree with me in this. And I say to the creator, and my creator knows that I'm not afraid. My creator knows I'm a warrior. My creator knows that I will go at great length to even be out of character to do what I got to do to defend myself. I will. So I asked my creator, say, in my mind, I'm saying to myself, say to my creator, say, is it meant for me to go this route? Because I have a vision. The vision that I'm fighting to uphold every single day is that I'm inspiring millions of people to be free. Now, what I'm about to say, some of you might laugh, I don't know. But I didn't come into this world to be some martyr, whatever you want to call it, or someone that's been, someone that's been taken out, go to jail. That's not my path. I have to say that with confidence. Even though stuff is in my face and threatening me and my rights and liberty, if I ask my creator, am I meant to go this route? Because I will defend myself and my family. Well, I'm still here. Here I am. I try not to entertain certain thoughts. Sometimes when you entertain certain thoughts, things do come into fruition, if you know what I mean. So, I see myself inspiring millions of people. I'll just say here in the States, but who knows, around the world. But I don't really think about the rest of the world so much like that. I think about here in the States because I know the history, I know the law, and I know how the legal system works. But my vision that I fight to uphold is that I inspire millions of people. Millions of people. Even though sometimes it doesn't look like no one gives a damn what I have to say, because I go through thoughts too. All right? I have to encourage myself, motivate myself, speak, post. Sometimes I don't want to post on Facebook, whatever. I'm like, whatever, but I'm still going to do what I need to do on my end, period. I'm not going to wait on anybody to act, to learn and do something. You got to know how to target the enemy. If you don't know how to target the enemy, that's it. But I'm just sharing my experience, okay? What I felt and the decisions I've made. So yeah, I paid a fine. And I'm going to go to deal with the higher court. I'm going to get my money back, though. There is, in this legal system, if you do it right, you can get your money back. If the lower court acted as far as going outside of his procedures, you understand, is outside of his duties, and you got the evidence to back you up, yeah, you definitely can. I'm willing to go to the state, to the Supreme Court. I had a couple of cases in the Supreme Court, by the way, but the state Supreme Court is they're gonna, how am I supposed to say it? The state Supreme Court is gonna know my name very soon. They're gonna know me. Kind of like, you go to a coffee shop, you got the barista knows exactly what you want. Hey, Gabe, how you doing? They know, yeah, you don't have to say nothing. They just poured a latte. They know exactly what you want. What I'm trying to say is that the Supreme Court is gonna know what they're dealing with. They're gonna say, oh shit, oh my God, he's back. He's back. We gotta do something. And if they deny me, there's ways to go about it. Putting out in the record. Because I'd say this, and I told my friend this, that if the Supreme Court don't do what they're supposed to do, especially when you bring up the common law, that is the supreme law of the land, and you know how to target them, I told my friend, I will do what I can to remove all the justices. That's what they call the judges there, justices. I'll get them removed through this process. I don't want to say yet, folks, I'm sorry. But I'm not fucking around. I'm not. I got the State House in my mind. I got the Supreme Court in my mind. I got all the courts, everything. The Gestapo, I got a lot of things in my mind, a lot of targets. And I'm going to get it done, but I got to do it one at a time. I can't do everything. I got to work. I work full time. I got bills to pay. I got a family to take care of. You understand? I could come up with all kinds of excuses. right? To stay in the status quo, right? Oh, I got a family to take care of. I don't got time for all this. Yep, I could do the same thing, but you know what? I care about my future, my family's future. You understand? This needs to stop. So if it takes me as the individual to spark people to take action, hey, I'm for it. I mean, I don't want to be this leader and everybody behind me. I don't believe in that. I believe everybody could be their own leader. What I'm trying to say, if it takes one person, and I guess that's just human nature sometimes. I don't know. It's just one person and everybody acts. But I want somebody that's a critical thinker, someone with guts. You know, someone that loves freedom and liberty, not just say it and post it up on X because you support a political platform that say that my Second Amendment rights. No. We're talking about your natural rights and liberty. You know, that's the kind of people I want to connect with. But if it takes me to create the spark, I'm for it. I don't feel ashamed about it. I mean, I really want everybody to get involved simultaneously, you know, ideally, but oh boy. But anyway, thanks for you know, stopping by and hanging around, and I do hope that you could connect. You could, you know, maybe you're inspired what I shared. Okay, and tell your friends about my channel. You know, I don't say these things often because I don't want to come across that I'm begging people to subscribe. I really don't. Even on X, I don't tell people to follow me. I don't. I don't want to come across like I'm desperate. I don't. So I selectively say I say at a certain time. So if you know somebody, you have some friends, share my channel, okay? And hit like. Get the algorithms. You know how YouTube works. They work on algorithms like most social media platforms. But you know, I really appreciate it. I really appreciate that you all being here and listening. That's really cool. So I really appreciate it because look, I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna be honestly real, and I gotta head out right now. But being afraid is not going to protect you. It's not going to create a better future for yourself and your family. Fear has been taught by the system, and it took decades to get it done. A lot of us, not all, but a lot of us are confused. We don't know what to believe. We have been spoon-fed with misinformation, disinformation by design to prevent you from knowing the truth. You have some people are comfortable of being oppressed. Oh, they're comfortable. There are a lot of people, but I don't want to go into that. I just want to keep this live short. But I just want to say fear. There's two different fears, and I hope I'm saying this right. But follow me. There's a fear of a survival. You know, for example, like you see a dog. You're walking down the street. You got a dog with a leash. Just jump at you. And what's the first thing you do? You naturally pull back. That is normal. It's natural. The other fear I'm talking about is when you're in your head. In your mind, it's telling you stuff that's not even happening. It's the what if. I don't want to do this because they do this to me. I don't want to do that because they'll do this to me. I don't want to do it because I saw someone been through that stuff. And I figure if I keep my mouth shut and don't do nothing, I'm safe. That fear is betraying you, folks. I'm going to tell you this right now. It is betraying you. It's not the natural fear. The natural, just pull back with a dog coming at you. No. So I hope you understand what I'm saying, okay? And, you know, don't let the system bully you. I gotta do another live. I just feel like I need to do another live about the psychological game the system plays on us. I felt like maybe I expressed it in my other live. I try not to repeat some of the topics I talk about. My friend was giving me suggestions, and my other live, she was saying that I did a lot of brain dumping on one of my live. I said, yeah, I did that. I dump a lot of stuff. And it was told to me that if you could just cut one topic at a time, I could do that. I could do that. Just I have to stay focused. If I'm going to talk about a particular topic, I got to just focus on that one topic and not go outside of the topic. But anyway, this live, I just want to express myself about my experience with the court. And yeah, I'm still here, folks. I'm still. It's a war. Some battles you're not gonna always win. I just focus on the end game. That's it. That's my goal. And obviously, my intent is to inspire other people. I promise that I will post that process of how I shut the court down. I just don't want to say it yet. I'm sorry. I just don't. But I had to express to you about a real quick breakdown about that court is not lawfully created. And you got to know where to hit the court. You understand? I'm talking about lawfully, legally. You got to know where to target it. So anyway, I will update you folks if there's anything, as far as this in this situation, if it's worth talking about it. Other than that, I got other stuff going on. I got other projects. I got other things. But this is going to be a top of my list. This made it top of my list. I got to put a lot of things on hold. And I got to make this my top list because I can't let this die out. Nah, I'm not going to let this shit go. Nah, a lot of people. And let me tell you this. I'm not want to shut this court down for me. I'm doing this for the interest for the general public. I'm not the only one going through this. I know you know that. A lot of people get their rights and liberty deprived. So yeah, I'm doing this for the interest for the general public. So if anybody asks me why I'm taking such action, I am doing this for the interest for the general public. And that's it. All right, folks, it's been fun. I mean, for expressing myself, and great to see you here. And thank you all for stopping by. Until then, we'll be back with another interesting topic. Take care.